So players clicking in, last player to click in is going to be Kiludai, and we are in for game number 2 of the match of round 4 between Mythology aka Sisu and Absolats aka Lat. Well, should be quite fun. We are on Marsh, looking at the civilizations, of course, ISIS set, and the last player is going to be Oranos for Sisu, and for Lats it's Oranos, Thor, and Ra. So quite a lot of diversity overall. We are having basically repeat just in the, what was it, in the Oranos, right? Yeah, the Oranoses are on both sides in here, and we are looking right now for the first player, or at the first player, for example, who is more champion in the pocket. No, in the flank. He is in the flank and going to be facing against Schulte. So yeah, that's going to be quite similar to what we have seen last game around, with Zodiac going right off the bat for a bit more extra vision, which is basically telling you that he's not all that interested in surprising shifting sands. He's going to be probably using them with the Pharaoh against the Norse. I would be expecting that to be the best course of action for him, as the Norse is unfortunately in the on the left, so potentially could be quite nice help for more champion. So yeah, quite interested how this is going to be working out. Looking at the Egyptians who are one in the pocket, that's the set. That's really quite unlucky. Definitely would have been better to have ISIS in the pocket for better booming, because the set is the one more aggressive and definitely better able to handle any kind of aggression from the opponents. But yeah, Oranos is on the right. That's of course going to be Mikhail against Freak Angel. That will be yet another quite interesting matchup, basically the same as we have seen in the last game, and it provided for some quite fun gameplay. In the middle, there are Kiludai. That's definitely very nice spawn for Absolats. I'm fully expecting very beastly mode for Kiludai, or rather from Kiludai. That's going to be quite tough on their opponents, and that might actually be maybe even some kind of victory condition, because if you let player like Kiludai boom without any kind of problem, which I'm thinking exactly is gonna happen, because Schulte is quite capable of applying pressure even on Egyptians in the early game, and on the right side there's Oranos applying pressure on the other player, or maybe just basically being at least equal with Mikhail. That is really set in this game quite nicely for the pocket players, and the pocket definitely has to be set. It's going to be better for Kiludai, especially on account of the better god in there. So yep, let's see how that is going to be playing out. We are looking around the map, seeing nothing really all that much unusual so far. Better Archer, Ballista, Kiro, Ballista, Pierce attack right now for more champions. Relic, we could be saying. Oh, could be useful, but not really exactly sure how much. Could be better for, of course, the Kero Ballista that might be coming in for some Oranoses. Pegasus Scout, always welcome to see a bit more of the map. Scout Unit LOS, that's actually next to the Oranos. It could be useful for the very early game, before the Oracles die, but after that it's going to be sucky. Better village hit points, nice one. Protection against some kind of raiding, and Infantry Heck Armor, that's, yeah, of course, always going to be great relic. So definitely one that we would be liking to be having if we were playing. Better hero damage versus Myth units, of course, pretty great for absolutely any player, especially for Atlanteans, because Atlanteans usually have problems against Myth units, even with hero units. So yeah, that will of course be putting a stop to, maybe, I'm kind of thinking that maybe to Bor Raiden from the Thor, because in the heroic age, if he goes from the flaming weapons and Bragi, then those guys definitely might be coming into play. But yeah, we're going to be seeing about that pretty soon. So in the meantime, a lot of piggies being gathered by Red, by Freak Angel. Not so much by Kiludai, who is in the pocket, of course. And of course, not so much also by Schulte. So let's see if somebody else is having a bit more of them. Not more champion. Zodiac is actually having a decent amount of them, because he's of course having a bit more scouting. And, well, yeah, not much by Mikhail. So very nicely. Oh, actually he does have some extra at the bottom. Definitely needs to be careful so that he doesn't lose them to some kind of raiding. That could most definitely happen to him, and we are, of course, at the stage where we would be expecting to advance into the next age. Yeah, because when you do restoration, or not restoration, prosperity so soon, Schulte is definitely right that they are gonna do something retarded. Yes, it's going to be either retarded as retarded, or retarded as retarded. So you can kind of choose. It's going to be either some kind of brutal mistake, or it's just going to be a really fun play. Okay, so let's check around what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised by some shifting sands of ally army into enemy base. That's something that could happen. But in that case, I don't understand why you would be using division, so that's actually counter. And you might be going for Sphinx Raiding? Maybe. Maybe. Varsity Prometheus Ptach, of course. Green is... Is he already through? Have I missed him? No, I haven't. Wow, Green isn't advancing. He really isn't. He said second TC, so that's archaic TC. That's the reason why he isn't. So that's going to be like 6-minute advance. That's standard in that case. Going for second TC. And that could be basically called archaic TC for him. So that's actually why he casts the Prosperity, because he needs all the extra resources that he can get. Let's check his research count now. He's out of gold, so that's what he needed to gold for from the Prosperity. From TC for him. From TC for Shelty seems to be just pretty much safe so far. Not any kind of problem. The front TC is actually from Mikehei kind of funny, because this is a front TC for Freak Angel. And it's basically in the middle between him and his opponent Mikehei. So that's going to be a tough battle for it, because Mikehei's TC is the one in the middle, which is more or less useless. But this is a very tough town center for Freak Angel, and will be quite fought over by his teammate, or rather, by his opponent. So in the meantime, we are looking at some kind of aggression apparently going on from Zodiac, sending all the animals to the left, and they are... Are they going on Shelty? It almost looks like they're actually going into Kill You Die. You can see he's coming to the top. There is no TC to steal. Kill You Die is in the meantime coming for the back TC in there. Valor got power. Kill You Die is through for some potential shift incense to help his teammates. With barracks being built and nothing else on top of that. No extra sphinxes. No extra nothing, just animals in there. And it seems to be basically aiming for Shelty. But if it is, then it's definitely quite late, because it's already at 6 minutes. He's just going to be catching them off guard right now. Yeah, he's going to be killing them. That's just a piggy, and the army is right now coming back. So it's really looking like they actually want to go into Shelty full time. Zodiac coming for the back TC also for a bit of booming, exactly as his opponent, and as makes sense. And we are also looking on the right a bit on the minimap, as red dots are moving all around Mikehei, because of course we are looking shifting sands right next to yellow TC, because he wants to basically get away with all the army, or rather push away the army and potentially open the opportunity for him to raid. But if he did have some kind of idea like that, then I'm fairly certain it was just a bit too soon. And it did not really succeed, because even though he's coming in, the army is going to be ready. From Shelty right now getting a Hall of Thanes for better Heresiers. But yeah, quite interesting. So let's switch into the right side, where Kill You Die is casting Drain. And no extra god powers are going to be used right now for the next minute, as this red guy is also having, what kind of relic? The infantry hack armor. So he's actually having... or rather carrying the one that will help him himself, and otherwise pretty nice scouting all around on the gold and trying to basically control what his opponent is doing. And so far, because of course his opponent was going for the archaic TC, he's having good economy but not enough army yet, and the towers are going to be his only defense, at least for some time to come. So yeah, it's going to be pretty hard right now for Mikehei, and of course this makes this TC basically up to the taking for Freak Angel, and maybe even won't be all that much of a problem, as potentially Freak Angel might have thought, and maybe even Sisu thought, that it might be really a bit of a problem for the opponents. In the meantime, back TC though is being captured, even though it is scouted by Mikehei. Yeah, no problem. There's no army from green to actually stop that. In the meantime, More Champion is preparing for very unusual classical fighting, and that's really highly unusual, because as an ISIS, you usually don't want to do that, but he seems to be quite ready in for it, and I'm fully expecting sooner or later an attack on Shelty. So let's see how fast is that going to be, because at this point I would be expecting Heroic Age coming in from Kill You Die. Yeah, you can see already Hathor at 30%, so he's just basically waiting for his time, and he's going to be already sending villagers. I'm thinking put in... yeah, almost looking like they forgot to shift click in there. Migdol where? As much as I would like him to actually help Shelty, who is coming for second TC, in the meantime just going for basically... Oh, is he... Oh, he's housed. Is he going to be coming for some fast Ragnarok? Not sure, but almost looking like that. But he does have still some kind of raiding army in there, coming for the gold, and blue army just now, right now, catching him off guard, and Spearman doing a pretty good job against those, well, not really safe hunt-gatherers in there. In the meantime, of course, a bit of fight on the right, as Mikehei is using his shockwave, but that wasn't really enough, because the army is still quite stronger for Freak Angel, as he said 2 TCs right now, exactly the same as Mikehei. But yeah, he needs to be careful about all those towers, as they are quite problematic, quite problematic to all his efforts, but he does have the advantage still. All the army coming in, he's been... Okay, these are hunters for him. Is he finished? Is he going to be advancing sometime soon? Possibly. Not sure, as there is a bit of raiding right now. Let's check into the resources. Okay, he's not advancing yet. Shelty has finished the town center, and this raiding, unfortunately for him, not lucky so far, but he might be getting lucky exactly on the hunters. But in the meantime, let's check what's happening with the spearman. And of course, fighting against the spearman with the horses. It's not gonna work out all that much, and this is the answer to what Kirura is gonna do once he advances into the heroic age. And that was exactly what I wanted to say before I switch into another theme, because the gold is very important for him, and it basically covers his front TC as well, and it's reasonably in the middle of the map, so that he can help either his teammate Shelty at the bottom or Freak Angel at the top if it's needed, even though it doesn't seem like that Freak Angel is going to be needed all that much for help. Of course, Mikahe is having quite significantly higher score than Freak Angel because of the Archaic TC, but yeah, he's just pulling the shorter end in here. Of course, he doesn't have the army yet, and most probably won't be having anytime soon. And all those Prometheans, well, when you think about it, that's actually not a bad army to attack a TC if he can single out the heroes. That actually could be working for him if he can pop himself. Number 2, he is... he's actually housed, he's missing Manor. And he's not building it. Oh well, he's actually missing a Manor. Oh man, that sucks. Even though right now he's doing a pretty great job on this on Draden, which Mikahe absolutely is unaware of. Losing a villager in there, and maybe just some extra villagers waiting there to be killed as well, as he's coming for the front TC, Freak Angel. But yeah, he needs to build the extra manor, because he's basically shooting himself into the foot, because I'm fairly certain that Green, who is number 3, sorry, number 3, yeah, he's not having any kind of problem like that, so he can basically outpop him very easily. So yeah, careful red player, careful indeed. Bit of raiding right now by Kiludai at the back on the gold. Already 2 villagers dead. That's going to be pretty much it for this little raid-in. But of course the chariot archers are just now going to be joining apparently with a bit of red, as they are getting the raid of the manor in here, trying to also house his opponent as well, as to basically prevent any kind of save gathering from this gold. We are also looking at basically Purple being all over the place, helping his teammate as much as he can, and Shelty doesn't seem to be needing that all that much. Yeah. Sure. You can think you can build, you are gonna build a Migdol in there. Sure. I kinda wondering when it's gonna dawn on him that he cannot finish the Migdol in here. He's probably gonna cast the Ancestors. But with those Hersirs in there, interesting. This is gonna be funny and micro-intensive fight. Shelty needs to play it correctly. He seems to be exactly abandoning the position, which I don't understand. Because he's going to be letting more champion back exactly easily all this. He needs to force him into the Ancestors. Because if he uses them here, on the defensive purpose, there's of course going to be such a huge advantage for him. But yeah, he missed the opportunity. This is gonna be cast with Ancestors and Eclipse, of course. So yep, he needed to cast that a lot sooner. Or rather force him to cast it a lot sooner. So that was a bit of a mistake, I think, from Shelty, and could have been played slightly better. So right now he's going to be in deep trouble, because of course the Migdol right on his doorstep is going to be just pumping elephants in there. And since More Champion was having literally nothing, he wasn't in the heroic age, this was his first Migdol. If he was stopping that or delaying that as much as possible, that was crucial for him. So right now he is in serious trouble, and Kiludai will need to help with everything he has. Otherwise, this might be not a nice game for Shelty all that much. Some interesting upgrades, Thea and Horus. Oh, the Horus after 20 seconds more. That's going to be Tornado on the TC of Shelty. Fairly certain about it, because they are already pushing forward. Right now, More Champion at 4 TCs. Whereas Kilura at 3, and he's of course going to be pushing from here, so that he probably is going to be aiming to prevent any kind of reinforcements. But let's see if that is going to be enough or not. Yeah, bit of fun in here, as unfortunately Avenger is avenging all the dead villages and units. But getting killed also by the Petsuchos. So goodbye Avenger, well played right now. And at the bottom, bit of raiding waiting to be happening, but Mikahe is well aware and is going to be putting a stop to that. In the meantime, the battle in in here is of course going to be coming up with the tornado, and some ancestors are going to be helping, of course, yet again in the battle in here. So Shelty having a pretty tough time in here. A very tough time indeed. Gonna be losing the town center, and of course he's going to be losing also quite significant economy right now in those farms not being able to be used like at all. He's just running around trying to evade all the ancestors, which is not all that great because it allows Zodiac with champion, with more champion of course coming into the front, and he's going to be attempting to drop a Migdol in the trade route, is he? Apparently he's going to be. And it's kind of funny because it might actually be quite a big surprise as we are looking at Locust killing one. Yeah, that could have been slightly better, but definitely not bad. This is actually quite tricky landing. Almost could be saying, and raiding, because of course this might be going under the radar for Zodiac. And the mercenaries might not be really all that enough. So, of course push forward, as they are yet another TC of Shelty. But it's probably not going to be finishing because with the flaming weapons that's going to be easy fight right now for him. But yeah, Blue is just now finishing with the barracks and trying to wall off the trade route. And unfortunately, Kiruda is so far not noticing, not really knowing what's happening in there. But yeah, right now he is. Mercenaries coming up and they are going to be putting a stop to these kinds of shenanigans. He's probably gonna come back with some units, or maybe some chariot archers coming to the back, as he's at 40 Cs as well, because he has stolen from Zodiac, and he's quite significantly pushing forward with the Migdol, which I think is what more champions should have done. More than the barracks, he should have been dropping a Migdol in the middle of the trade route, exactly as right now Kilura is doing on top of his opponent, and he's just basically going to be killing Zodiac. And if Shelty can at least stall his opponents, yeah, well, that's going to be a tall order in here. Shelty just now asking where is Kiludai. Well, Kiludai is killing his opponent in the middle, so you just need to hold on long enough to let Kiludai win the game for you. So that's well played. Well played by more champion, and seems to be really putting Shelty in a very tough and difficult situation. Let's have a look at the top, where it seems like that Mikehei is not doing all that great against Freak Angel, because of course Freak Angel is having 1 TC more. This is a front from Mikehei, still not captured, and he's doing such a great job because he is preventing gold gathering as much as possible, and he's doing such a great job of that. And even if he sends some more extra units in there, as he's switching into Medium Kontarai, that might be basically it for Mikehei, but it might be it even before that. Tartarian Gate, aka Titan Gate rather. And that's gonna be finished, right? That's gonna be that. And actually more champion, I'm right now thinking, is actually thinking that he's going to be winning the game. But I wouldn't be that hasty, because Titan Gate from Mikehei, why? You're going to lose it. There's no chance that you're going to be actually surviving with that. But well, in the middle, Zodiac is right now apparently defending, which I don't see how is that happening. But Kirudai, he was probably forced to defend a bit in here, as the Migdol is finally being built by more champion, and it might be succeeding or not. Probably not. This last villager is probably gonna get killed. Oh. A bit too slow in here. Mikehei has lost the TC in the front, and even though he's having a pretty decent army of the Kontarai, just a bit of switch into Murmilos, and it's going to be it for this kind of army. But of course, the base of Shelty is basically gone, as he's willing himself at the bottom. His opponents are having absolutely no idea that he's in there. They're just not scouting all that well. Villagers coming for the town centers and such. Yeah, to just capture everything in there. As more champion is right now spilling into the middle, trying to go into Kiludai. And Kiludai, even though he is fighting also in the front against Zodiac, he is probably gonna be having to switch fully into the defense, because yeah, he cannot really divide his armies against a player that is having 40 Cs against him, and going to be having 5 and 6 pretty soon. Not really much of upgrades, just heavy elephants and a lot of siege towers, like significantly a lot of them. As yellow is coming for a bit of raiding, and oh well, a lot of caravans in here probably going to be falling prey to all the chariot archers, as the battle for Freak Angel is not really going all that great. And there is an attack basically to prevent extra TCs from more champion, and that's exactly what needs to happen. He also needs to follow with the top, and he has probably a line of sight in there through the farm. So he's going to be moving in, and yep, not any kind of extra TC for you just yet. So Shelty is still very much in the game, trying to take the TC for himself, and since all the army is right now on Kirudai, killing his TC without all that much of a trouble, even though he has lost a lot of siege in there through all the villages. He has lost almost all of them. I'm kinda curious if they are going to be able to handle this, because of course, Vortex coming in from Freak Angel, how many siege does he have? He is having Hekagigan, 3 siphons so far, but Mikahei coming for the defense. Yeah, well, he doesn't have all that significant army, to be honest. Shoko is coming down. Mikahei already out. Or used just recently. So yep, if actually Freak Angel plays this correctly, he should be deleting it. With all the destroyers coming in there, 2 Hekagigans and the 5 siphons. Yeah, it's coming down. It's going to be no Titan for Mikahei, so a lot of resources wasted for you. And let's see if Freak Angel can actually push from this. So no Titan Gate, that's actually pretty big luck right now. But unfortunately they are losing all the trade right now, Absolats. So yeah, absolutely all trade. They are unaware of this, and with all the gold mines basically running slowly out, well, they are just right now hiding in there with no help inside, it seems like. This is a big blow to the economy, and Kiliudai, well, probably doesn't have all that much of a luck or a chance to get on Zodiac in here, even though he's still trying, and Shelty is doing what he can, but with his 0 TCs, he's of course having pretty tough time against More Champion, even though More is still in the attack in here. Yep, he's in the attack, not really anything all that significant, but he can basically keep both Shelty and Kiliudai at this point quite fine. So goodbye Migdol, that's important right now for Kiliudai. Those guys still getting rid of as many trade units as possible. That Kiliudai seems to be just handling the situation just now and seems to be just stabilizing the situation even with the goal on the opposite side of the map. Well, we are going to be expecting Freak Angel to advance on his opponent. Medium Kontara with no upgrades. Fanatics with no upgrades. Medium Archive, at least that. But his opponent is having heavy Archive with no upgrades on top of that, so still the army is not that strong for either side, but seems to be that should be coming back, or rather should be coming better for Freak Angel, just because he's having 1 TC more, so he should be winning. No reason that he shouldn't be. This is going to be basic race for time. If maybe Freak Angel can kill Mikahei before the situation becomes basically unsalvageable on the left, but it's almost looking like that it might not be the case, because Shelty is really doing a great job with medium throwing Axemen, bronze and copper, and with some Usars to do mediums. He's doing literally what he can. Town center coming up with 1 at the back. Oh, right now for Shelty. So he's back at 1. But with all the army in here just getting in there, it's going to be kind of hard for him to handle. But Kiliudai seems to be stabilizing back at 40 Cs himself and is already pushing forward in here and going to be helping his teammate to get rid of this pesky down center and hoping that might be early. Putting Shelty back into the game fully and then make something happen in there. In the meantime, almost getting rid of the TC. Less than half hit points for Mikahei, as Freak Angel is still needing quite significant time to recuperate, but he is at least taking care of the town center so that it doesn't come for Mikahei, and that's also quite important in there. In the meantime, needs to be careful Kiliudai in the front. Migdol being built by Zodiac, as he's going to be attempting to retake the time center for himself, and Vortex is coming to the bottom as Mikahei is coming with O, which should be basically attack move right now from Red, or is he having Vortex? He is. Coming with Vortex into this, with this army, yeah, I'm not sure. It's probably going to be better if Shelty just abandoned this position. Yeah, well, poor guys. Nowhere to hide for them. But it's going to be all about if he's going to be receiving some kind of significant help from Kiliudai, because Kiliudai is so far just having a bit of fight against Zodiac, but not really all that much of an effective one. In the middle, he's having quite significant problems against the catapults. Just needing to use some mercenaries in there, and not really having all that many units in here, as Kiliudai is using some shifting sands to help his teammate. Oh, yeah, help his teammate with the villagers to protect them from getting destroyed in the corner of the map, or the corner of the island in here at the bottom. So yep, this is the correct decision in my opinion. And Red right now apparently switching. Not exactly sure why, but he's probably switching because he's not having enough luck against Mikahei, and they are maybe hoping that they could be destroying the middle, and I think that might be some kind of good idea. Because if they get rid of the middle player and basically occupy his moments, or rather his placement in there, they will be stopping the trade route. And that will mean that More would be without any kind of gold. He's having just a few of it back left, not even gathering from it anymore, he's just now fully into trade. That might be still a way to victory for Absolats, even though they are really in a pretty tough moment right now. Coming for the force TC, exactly as needed to be, so Freak Angel is going to be quite ready for it. Mikahe, you can see, absolutely not aware that something like this is happening. With Kontara coming back, but they are going to be way too late. And it seems like that there's going to be a push at Kiludai from Mar. So, is it going to be successful? We're going to see pretty soon. He's at 5, going to be at 6 town centers reasonably soon. But yet again, if they lose the middle, they lose the trade. And even 6 TCs are not going to be anything good for you, any good for you, because obviously, without gold, Egyptian is dead. Everything costs gold. So yeah, what you gonna do without your nice camel caravans in there? So this is looking like a pretty good push with the siege, and he still doesn't have even 45 town centers. That's really weird. If he had 45 TCs, it would have been definitely quite easier for him to handle. Right now, H4 for more champion. Well, tough times coming with Son of Osiris, of course. Son of Osiris still not cast for Kiludai. Interesting also. Shelty is of course not going anywhere at all. And well, it's almost looking like there's going to be a lot of battle right now happening, both for Kiludai on the right and on the left. But yeah, it's really going to... I think he should be concentrated just on more. Playing solo against more, trying to outplay him as much as possible. You can see all those siege towers. God damn it. To be honest, I don't understand why Kiludai keeps making chariot archers when his opponent is having the direct counters. Both elephants and siege towers are direct counters to the chariot archers. So why would you keep making those highly inefficient units? Why wouldn't you try to switch into something else? I don't know. Maybe even spearmen would be useful in this position. You will be dealing with the elephants, also with those towers. So yep, Son of Osiris want to help, but for the opponent, he's going to be coming in reasonably soon also. Okay, so in the middle, not much going on, as apparently Freak Angel is going to be helping with the fun, trying to delete this opponent from that position, and there is a bit of raiding in the middle of his base, but not really for much longer apparently. Shelty rebuilding yet again. This is basically his whole economy. 17 villages, 0 TCs. But still not giving up at all, as Red is attempting to push forward in here, trying to get rid of Mikahe's gold, and he seems to be, well, rather he should be succeeding with this. He's having a heavy archive, yes, still not really all that many upgrades. The opponent medium archive also. Fanatics are heavy already with copper mail, so he's playing pretty well Mikahe in here. Pretty well indeed. But the extra TCs, they just should be coming in. And there is... Oh, haha! Oh yeah, there we are, with putting a stop to the trade of their opponents, and that's exactly what needs to be done. With Marsh is dead? Where did he actually die? I haven't really noticed that all that much. But he has cast him, and he has died fairly easily, because you can see that Kiludai is still very much alive. And then now, Marsh's time for praying is actually coming. Because Kiludai is fully paying attention to him, and you can see even the 6 town centers are not doing any good to him. Kiludai is just going to be able to handle him quite fine, even with the inefficient units in here. Just he's using just the cavalry archers, okay, or rather champion chariots, and with some mercenaries against this, with the Son of Osiris. That's one tough SOB in there. Definitely switching the battles, and well, more champion heavy elephants, just baseline of upgrades, that's not good enough against champion chariots with bronze mail and bronze weapons. So the upgrades are most definitely paying off. Oh, Kiludai! What the hell? You're going to be losing Son of Osiris to Migdols? Really? Yeah, well, that could have been a pretty huge bonus for him, but that's not great. Needs to be a whole lot more careful with Migdol coming up. Yeah, those chariots are going to be probably sniping him quite easily right now. But in the meantime, let's switch to the right, where Mikahe is finally being pushed by Freak Angel, just through the sheer power of his units and all the extra economies. What's this? Kind of bug in there. But he's back to, or rather down to 1 TC, and this army seems to be pretty strong with the help of Shelty, who sees that there's no need for some extra help for Kiludai, who is handling the situation quite alright, and they are going to be putting Mikahe out of the game altogether pretty soon, especially with the trade being attempted to be disrupted. Okay, going to be using also siege boats to prevent that. But nice attempt by Freak Angel. So of course, he is still very much alive in the middle, but the Migdol down 4 purple is actually quite dangerous. Green coming forward. What's he actually expecting to do? He's probably going to be building up inside the yellow base in here, yellow forward base, as he's attempting to go for the town center. Town center has been, though, killed for the Marsh champion. That means that he's not going to be having mercenaries that handy, even though it's not that far away. 1 TC, second TC, yeah, it's kind of not bad, but still, this is quite important as Kiludai is really aiming for the 5th, but he at the same time needs to be super careful about losing his own. He so far is absolutely unaware that this is happening. This is going to be pretty much a shame for him, but quite nice play by Zodiac in there. And yep, the village is coming for the TC just like hungry wolves. Going to be taking it right from under the nose of Moore, and Freak Angel coming for the Titan. So yeah, that's going to be pretty tough for them, because they don't have any kind of use of god power for that. They cannot stop it. They don't have any kind of transport or anything. But apparently coming back a bit. Migdol's coming down one by one. So no elephants, all that much actually for Mike, or rather for Moore. He's been left with one Migdol. All two. He's having literally 2 Migdols left. That's not great. And Moore is right now resigning, as the battle on the right is not going great. And Freak Angel is basically right now beaten with the help of Shelty Mickey finally. And well, right now with a pretty brutal Radiant in the middle, that's not going to be any kind of luck either for Zodiac, and hoping to push forward. So very, very fun game. Very fun game. Absolutely great game indeed. And Shelty, I'm so glad he actually held on. He was still a very important part of the game, even with 0 TCs. His help basically helped tilt Mika Hay into the losing position and help his teammate Freak Angel. And oh well, this was one hell of a game. One hell of a game, and definitely Absolats, quite nice perseverance in there. Well. Definitely well played. More champion. If you thought that the game was won, then you severely underestimated your opponents, and you should be respecting players like Kiludai, Shelty, and even Freak Angel in here a whole lot more. A whole lot more. Especially Kiludai. Kiludai is basically one of the best team game players around. So if you think that you have beaten him, you better think again. You better think again. And he definitely showed you exactly that. Even with better units that you were having. Yeah, it's a shame. You were playing quite well. It was definitely a nice strategy from you and from your team. So well played. But unfortunately the opponents were better this time around. Let's check the post game with Kiludai. Most deservedly winning. But small batch also for Shelty for sticking through it. And also being still very, very valid player of the game. Even with 0 TCs. Has to be said. That was yet again a game that Shelty will probably remember, and I'm not sure if in any kind of good light. Players usually don't like games like this. Not great efficiency from Freak Angel, 251, 52, but neither for Zodiac, so yeah, kinda equal for the teams in there. Well then, GG.